I want to show you the men who control the Ghana Police Armed Forces now. Now, the point we'll be making tonight is that the 1992 Constitution needs an amendment to guarantee us the integrity, the professionalism, and the excellence of the police. For that to be guaranteed, the 1992 Constitution needs an amendment. And I'm thinking that a lot more of our young people should look at the Constitution and propose certain amendments that will work. I think that will be a better way to go. It will be a quicker way to go, and it will give us an implementation plan. So that's what we're going to be saying tonight. But before then, let me show you the men who are in control of the key police appointments in Ghana today. Of course, the IGP, and then regional commanders and key appointment holders in the Ghana Police. Let's look at their photographs. So this is Mr. Opon here in your shot. He is the Inspector General of Police. He is a police officer with high experience and high rank, and now he's the IGP. The concerns about Mr. Opon that people have been raising is that he may have been IGP for too long, and that it's time for him to shift because he already passed the age, and they brought him back. So the criticism against Mr. Opon tonight is that people want to feel the police in a better sense, and so there's pressure on him to quit and perhaps give the president the opportunity to appoint another one. It is about these presidential appointments that I'll be spending a bit of time tonight. Next is the Greater Accra Regional Commander, DCOP Mr. Adom-Otchere Adom. He is the Greater Accra Regional Commander, the commander of the Greater Accra Regional Police. This is also one of the very important men in there. In fact, right now, what has happened, the responsibility is on his shoulders. The event happened in Greater Accra Region. A police officer was shot, and so that's a high crime. It is now his responsibility to be able to deliver this. That's why we put his photograph here. It's a very important person in the police. I'm showing you the people who control the police system. And then after that, I'll show you how they got there, how they got to controlling the police system. And I'll show you some of the processes that is sanctioned by the 1992 Constitution. And it's at that point that we'll recommend changes to those clauses. That if we can change those clauses, we can have a police force about which we can guarantee their integrity, their professionalism, and perhaps their excellence. So the gentleman here is very, very key to what is happening right now. And he must deliver it. He must deliver the results. And if they don't deliver the results, for where we have gotten to, the influence of social media in our politics and the influence of social media in our checks and balance narrative of political stories, it should be appropriate for people to call upon people like Mr. DCOP Adom to resign if solutions are not found. If clear, obvious solutions are not found, that indicates that these offenses, that indicates that the revelations about the finding came out of the genius of the police, then I'm thinking that we may have to call on him to leave. This is the point where things are getting serious. So people must imbibe the culture of leaving when there's dereliction of duty. We are all looking at the situation. There could be a new IGP. The new IGP will be selected by a political process. That's the point we're making. He will be selected by a political process under the Constitution. Let me go to that. Let me go to that and you see it. Article 202, which is the Inspector General of Police, appointment of members of the police service. So that's 202 here. The Inspector General of Police shall be appointed by the President, acting in consultation with the Council of State. So the appointment of the police Inspector General is actually more political than the appointments of ministers of state. That's what the Constitution has done. That's what we need to amend. The appointment of the Inspector General of Police is directly more political than the appointment of ministers of state. Why do I say that? Ministers of state are appointed on Article 78. They are not appointed until they go to vetting. The vetting has members of the NDC, members of the MPP. These days, they've added the fourth estate. The vetting has public broadcast. So all of us then become audience of the vetting. But in appointing the IGP, the police, the Inspector General of Police, the one who is supposed to demonstrate excellence, integrity, credibility, meritocracy for all the states. You see, because the IGP's appointment is a state appointment. It's not a political appointment, or it ought not to be. But under the Constitution, it's done by the President. So it's a state appointment by the Chief Justice. But the role that the police occupy, our question tonight is, should we continue to make the IGP's appointment sole responsibility of the politically elected president, or should we have a certain college? Should we have a certain mix? Should some people play a role in appointing the IGP? Is that what we need? Or should we leave it like this? The Inspector General of Police shall be appointed by the president acting in consultation with the Council of State. End of story. Should we leave it like this or should we change it? That's what we talk about, fix the country. When we are saying fix the police, we are thinking that Article 202 should be amended by Parliament. Parliament should begin to think of ways to bring in, and we can draft it for them, ways to amend Article 202(1) so that it brings meritocracy. It brings predictability. It brings efficiency, integrity, clarity. So Parliament can say that every year we will grade all regional commanders. The regional commander with the best grading over the last 2 years will be the next IGP. That brings in some predictability. So we know that, because the grading is public and we can deal with all that, we know that the Ashanti Regional Police Commander is leading. Therefore, most likely he'll be the IGP. I don't know. I'm just saying that if we want to establish a police force, given that the role that the police play in a third Republican country, we want to establish a real police force, we have to amend Article 202 of the Constitution. We shouldn't just shout, fix the country, fix the police. We should tell them, we should tell Parliament that propose an amendment towards Article 202. Now, there's a private member's bill. If 202 is an entrenched article, we'll have to come to vote in a referendum that we are changing the way in which we present the police. This is the way we can change how we present the police. Not writing hashtags. Thinking about how to amend the Constitution is the way we can change the police. It's not to go on your phone and do hashtag fix the country, hashtag I'm in red, and take some picture you are in red, and hashtag. No, that's not how adults, young adults behave. That's not how the youth should behave. Let us be thinking. Let us show that we are a thinking generation. Let's equal the capacity of the independence movement. Kwame Nkrumah was 46, 45 when the independence movement started. By the time he was prime minister, he was 48. But that's the age he was. Kroboidu said they were in their 20s. But they had a process. Of course, Dankwa was old, but William Oforiatta and others were very young. Bedema was young. And they had a system that will replace the white man. Albeit that system is not good, we can make it much, much better. We talk about the Gadgetsburg economy, forget about that story. At least they didn't go in with the empty choboi. They went in with a plan. And they didn't do just hashtag, something, something. No. So that's our proposal to you. Let's think about it. All of those who jump on social media are fixing the country, we now have an amendment to think about. Can we do that? Can we think? Can we do some thinking? So we think Article 202 should be amended. Because this power that is in the hands of the president, a politically elected president, you must have a benevolent person who is not under party pressure. Because the president may be okay, but the pressure from his party, he would have to respond to the pressure from his party. He can't do anything about it. Every president will have to respond to the pressure from his party. So the president may not want to change this, but the pressure from his party will occasion the change. So we think that an amendment should be made so that the IGP is appointed in a certain way. That is, the Inspector General of Police shall be appointed by the President acting in consultation with the Council of State. Okay, 202. The Inspector General of Police shall be head of the police service and shall, subject to the provisions of this article and to the control and direction of the Police Council, be responsible for the operational control and administration of the police service. That's how powerful the IGP is. So in the police service, it's the IGP who appoints all the regional commanders. That's his official role under Article 202 because he's responsible for administration. This is the Constitution, the fundamental law of the land. That's what happens. The IGP is so powerful that he's responsible for all this. The question we're asking today, a person that controls this power, how should he be appointed? Should we find ways in which he will be appointed to aid meritocracy? Because meritocracy is very, very important in appointing somebody who controls the police system, controls the security of civilians. That's a very powerful position, controls everything. The criminal investigations department of the police has no jurisdiction boundary. As long as they think anything is a crime, they can investigate it. And so you're going to give this person, this power. First, he's appointed by a politically elected president with a political party, the general secretary, and all political. He's appointed by that president. And then, after the president appoints him, this is how much power he gets. He's running the show. The chief of defense staff at police, in military, does not appoint the army commander. The army commander is appointed by the council and by the president. It's not the chief of defense staff that appoints his battalion commanders. No. But in the police, that's what happens. And it's happening under the 1992 Constitution. Because the 1992 Constitution was designed for a powerful dictator. And so that's why we have these clauses. That's why we think the urgency of changing the Constitution is key. That's the only part we agree with Sam Jonah, because he said the most important thing is to change the Constitution. We recommend tonight that Article 201 and 202 should be heavily looked at, and if we really want to get a serious police force. So we have to make that draft amendment and send it to Parliament. And then we can put pressure on Parliament that do this amendment. And the amendment is done, we can take it to the president for his accent. Then if the Constitution is beginning to change, things are shifting, then we are ready for the next generation. We are ready to make some fundamental changes. Let's study the system and see what must be changed. Hashtag will not take us far. Okay. The Inspector General of Police shall be the head of the police. Okay, we looked at it already. Subject to the provisions of this Constitution, the power to appoint persons to hold or to act in an office in the police service shall vest in the President, acting in accordance with the advice of the Police Council. Listen to that. Subject to the provisions of this Constitution, the power to appoint persons to hold or to act in an office in the police service shall vest in the President, acting in accordance with the advice of the Police Council. So that's the police. That's the Ghana police. That's how powerful they are. That's what it is. We'll make our final comment on this, and we are saying that we're looking for amendments to this clause to change the position so that things can happen differently. And we are saying that this is how fixed the country should be. But Ajakum is our first caller. He's calling from Tamale. Let's listen to him now. Hello, Ajakum.
Yeah, hello, Mr. Paul.
Yes, hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so we are talking about the police situation and asking youth to join us to ask for an amendment to the Constitution. What do you want to say about the police situation?
First of all, let me say good evening to your territory. I mean, I think it's a worrisome situation. I mean, Parliament and citizens need to, put our heads together to call for this amendment. I mean, I think it will help us in police system. So I support it 100%. I support it.
Okay, thank you very much, Ajakum. So Ajakum is our first caller from Tamale. Is it Million from Accra?
Yes.
William from Accra. Hello, William.
Yeah, those people driving the Boulon van, I don't know whether they are trained drivers who have been trained about how to move in convoy and also how to be able to know those people who are following them, because as a driver, a professional driver, they should be trained in a military way.
Okay, I think
so. I think that they should be trained very well. The cars that they've been driving must be equipped with cameras and other things, so that they will be able to detect whoever is following them.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And okay, so there's one caller. Let me take that caller before I take the break. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good evening, sir. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Jolu, Accra.
You're calling from Jolu?
Yes, please.
Okay, tell us your view.
So, Paul, I think I share your opinion that we certainly need to review parts of the Constitution, but I think that we should be careful with how fast we want to propose this, because I am afraid that we live in a country where the security concern, especially within our neighboring countries, are very, very volatile. And so there are possibilities of insurgencies. We are hearing rumors about it around us. Now, we don't have a very robust security system, and that is why we should be careful in handling our security architecture in terms of passing the leadership to some group of people that do not necessarily share in the vision of the president and the political actors. And so I think that in the current setup is wrong, but I think that we need to get to a point where there is this confidence that regardless of whosoever is in charge of the police, council, or who is the IGP, the person will still pay reverence to the president, will still pay reverence to the leadership in the country, so that we have because Paul, they are going to give us analysis of what has happened. People were plotting a coup against a democratically elected, head of state. Imagine if the police force was in the hands of someone that is politically inclined and belongs to a certain, or based on how parliament is and probably was appointed by parliament in a certain way. Imagine how, as a country, we would have been panicking hearing of all of this because we don't know who is controlling the security system. So I think that the police is very important. It takes care of the internal security of the country. And so I think that we need to be very careful and build our security architecture so strong that we can advocate for some of these things. But I think I agree with you that we need to go a step further and see how, even with the current system, how do we ensure that we bring people accountable? For example, the current IGP should be hauled before Parliament. Parliament must interrogate him, and if there is a need for us to set him aside, Parliament can make that proposal and let the President enforce those recommendations from Parliament.
Okay, so we have somebody else on the line now about the police matter. Let's quickly take him as well. Who is on? Somebody from Taifa. Hello.
Hello, Paul.
Yes, I can hear you.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. What's your name?
I'm Charles, calling from Taifa.
Charles, is your baby crying?
Yeah.
How old is he?
Very cool.
1 year.
He said?
How old is he?
Only 2 years.
2 years, okay.
Yeah, the politicians are selfish.
Politicians are selfish?
Very, very selfish. They will say they will do this, they will do that. When they come to power, they forget about everything. The constitution needs to change. We cannot sit down as a country and watch this constitution with us. Thank you.
Okay, all right, we heard him. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir. What's your name, please?
Yeah. My name is Alligator Mohammed.
Alligator?
Yeah.
Is that your nickname or your name?
Yeah, that's my nickname.
Can you speak louder?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, Alligator, let's hear you.
Yeah. You see, the politicians normally don't say the truth to the people of Ghana. You see, the youth need job. The youth need job really. There are a lot of opportunities there. Look at Lagos Hospital. Look at the Maritime Hospital. Look at the this hospital too, which is the Lagos Hospital. They will bring people to Kolebu. They will tell you no bed. And then look at the other facilities. Our health sector is very, very poor. The government should wake up. Because when you stand at Kolebu and you see patients lying on ambulances, they will say no bed. What are we doing? 21st century. Please, we need a very, 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 very heavy decision that our hospitals, our health sector is very, very poor. Paul, when you come and you see things in the health sector, you cry. The whole Ghana, when they refer patient Kolebu, even they refer patient from Medina, whereby Lagos Hospital is lying down there. What are we doing in our health sector? You see, our health sector must be improved. We need the health sector to improve. It's very, 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 very bad. How? We are living in 21st century. They will bring a patient in, even get Kolebu Teaching Hospital, no bed. It's not that the bed is not there. The facility is very small. The facility cannot contain the patients. So we beg our leaders, they should expand the health sector.
Okay.
So that is what I can say.
Okay.
The health sector is very, very brilliant. Even people of Ghana should be happy.
His concern, okay, thank you. Alligator's concern is about the health sector. And again, why do we have the kind of health sector that we have? What are the laws that underpin the health sector? What's the responsibility of the Ghana Health Service? Who selects the people at the Ghana Health Service? For us to fix our health sector, we have to fix the foundation. The foundation is the things that it stands on. What is the intellectual infrastructure of our health sector? How does it work? How does it work? That's what we should be thinking and putting a document together and telling Parliament that we need these amendments and have the conversation of fixing the country around what should change in the fundamentals, not change of personalities or abuse of personalities or attack of personalities. Hello?
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Bismarck Mensah. I'm calling from Accra.
Yes.
Yes, I want to make a contribution to your program.
Yes, please.
This issue about amending the constitution, as you are saying, we need to take care of certain things because there are reasons for which the Constitution is structured in that way. You see, we used to talk about the Constitution was made for a very strong dictatorship person. But the point is, we don't bother to find out how we're able to preserve this Constitution up to today. Because there are certain things that you don't let it go just like that. Imagine the power of the police is in the hands of the oppositions. You see? So if we are talking a situation where the appointment of IGP will not be in the interest of the president, then we are calling for something that it will worry us. And we have to be very careful when we are talking about appointing of the IGP by not in the hands of the president, because the president has to be secured in a way that the police power will not go to be in the hands of the opposition. And I think that we have to be careful about the way we talk about appointment of IGP. I don't see the reason why if president appoints IGP cannot work to the satisfaction of the peoples of Ghana. I don't see. I think that when you have given the appointment, you have been appointed to work. And no matter how the situation it is, you should be able to work.
I think your point is well made. Your point is well made. So I get your point. So his point is that we should not be in a hurry to amend the Constitution. He makes a very interesting point that I never thought about. He says, do I know that the stability of our Fourth Republic is because of the powers of the president under the Constitution? We are not saying that the opposition should appoint the IGP anyway. That's not what we're saying. We're saying that the president can still be involved, but we're saying that let's introduce things that will add more meritocracy and integrity to the process. That's not that there's no meritocracy. Let's add more. I have some text messages to read. So they'll get the person on the wall. So this one says that, hello, Paul, I agree with you. I think the hashtag should be changed from fix the country to fix the Constitution, because you can trust a black man with power, because you can't trust a black man with power. I don't agree with the colorization of it. You can't trust human beings with power, that's all. I think the appointment of the IGP should be given to the Chief Justice, and then the person should answer to the President. We should add the Minister of Justice to the Chief Justice and then allow the government to appoint the Attorney General. Okay, so that's another very important amendment he's talking about that has been discussed all the time, so that the Lord Chief Justice should also be the Minister for Justice, and then the Attorney General should be separate. That's another important amendment that we've discussed before. But I have some more messages. Let me have a look at them. Kofi says that not change laws alone, but enforce the existing ones. Accountability and excellence must reign. Accountability and excellence. We are not ready for national security. Let's strengthen regime security first. Our geopolitical considerations in this part of Africa are tenuous. That's an interesting one. So we are not yet ready for national security. Let's strengthen regime security because of the geopolitical considerations of a very sophisticated opinion from Mr. Kofi. Let's take another person on the line. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Can you speak up louder, please? Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Yes.
I'm Benjamin calling from Kaswa.
Yes.
With the view of we amending the Constitution regarding with the police structure, I think it's a very laudable idea. But if these changes are to be made, we need to ensure that, as you just said, meritocracy, very, very important. We need to ensure that people who deem fit per their expertise and experience over the period of years in the force take over the administration of the police service, not based on just political appointment, because if I'm affiliated, so if I'm not doing the work or I do not meet the expected criteria to move the police service to a different dimension, but because I'm affiliated to a certain political color, I get the appointment of IGP, then it is questionable. Even with the police council, we can have a system that, yes, it's an open system where the chairperson might one might say might come from the police the police system itself, where the police have a total control of their system, and that will help change our motherland. Or if these things are not being put in place, it's going to affect us as the people, because at the end it boils down to we the people, we suffer.
Okay, so you agree that we should look at constitutional amendments?
Yes, please. We need to amend our constitution.
Okay, so I have to ask your name again. Joe, right?
Benjamin.
Benjamin, you called us from Accra.
Kaswa.
Kaswa, yes, Central Region. Okay, thank you, Benjamin. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
All right. So another text says that, good evening, Paul. Is it possible to appoint a minister in charge of uncompleted projects? Can we use the NIA and EC registration as a base for the census to save cost? Thank you. Nana Ajiman is calling us from Kumasi. He says we should appoint a minister of uncompleted projects. Okay, there's an important text here that's disagreeing. I'll come to the phone line in a minute. It says, Paul, I totally disagree with you. The antithesis is that the military works and has a similar appointing route. How come we agree the military works? Let's learn the best practice of the military and implement it for the police service. From Goodfellow. Okay, yeah, okay, Goodfellow, I get your point. He says the military works so the police can become like the military. We have somebody on the phone. Hello?
Hello?
Yes. Can you hear me? What's your name, please?
I'm Bernard Boy.
Bernard Boy, where are you calling from?
Keshi.
Are you related to Dr. Koboy?
From the family line.
Oh, you are from his family line. Okay, what do you have to tell us?
Paul, it seems this constitution has been in existence for some 20, 30 years now.
Yes, nearly 30 years.
We work with this constitution, we live with it. Regimes have come and passed. And now if probably they're asking for a problem to be fixed, it doesn't necessarily mean we should go back to fix the constitution, because we have lived with this constitution for years. There's a problem, particular problem. We should just sit down. Look what is going on. That a policeman going on duty should be shot by armed robbers, killed. And this is a situation where you come and ask me if I'm saying we should fix the killing of that policeman. You ask me how should I should bring a solution. I should also profile a solution, how to solve it. People are paid to be in authority to do that.
No, we made the point that that must happen. And we even went to say that the Greater Accra Police Commander must consider resigning if that doesn't happen. So that's the immediate solution. We agree with that. But we are talking about the structural solution that will endure. Hello?
Hello?
What's your name from Tamale?
Yeah, I'm retired Sergeant Karim Adam.
Retired Military Sergeant Karim Adam?
Yes.
Very good. Tell us, what do you have to say?
Yeah, Mr. Paul, you see our brothers who are talking about fix this country, sometimes I sit and I don't really understand what they mean. Because they talk about fix the roads, fix the classroom. Like they talk like it is just when His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa came on the 7th January 2017 that those things started happening. People have been lying on their stomachs writing in classrooms for the past 30 years.
No, but is that why we shouldn't fix it?
No, we should fix it. We should fix it. But the way, you see, they are playing politics. I am telling you that those behind those things are playing politics. They are not sincere to themselves. They are behaving like the ostrich. They bury their heads in the sand and leave the whole body outside.
Okay. Thank you very much.